Hey, brothers, it's good to connect with you today. I'm here talking with my friend Chris Highfill, Grace River in St. Peters, Missouri. Chris, how you doing today?
Doing great, Kevin. Good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, I am excited that you said yes to hosting the Missouri Fellowship in October 13th, and we're looking forward to coming and hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, I'm really excited to host you guys. Our team is excited about you guys coming. And man, Monday, October 13th, we're almost a month away from that, or just a month out. And man, I can't wait to have you guys here in St. Peters. We're gonna have some great barbecue, and we're also gonna have some really great content that I think guys will walk away with and be able to implement at some level at their church.
Chris, I'm always encouraged when I get to hang out with you and your team. And so I've been to a number of conferences you guys have hosted, and I'm always encouraged. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm bringing guys from my team. And I hope that our brother pastors from around the state will grab some friends, grab some co-pastors, grab staff, whoever you've got, friend, drive to St. Peter's that day. We're talking about healthy church. Healthy church culture is what the thread is. Dale Peterson from Eagle Brook is going to be there, and I've heard him speak. He's really good on this topic. He's going to challenge us. So some guys might be asking, like, what is church culture? How would you define that?
Really, church culture is best defined quickly is like the values and behaviors that are lived out in the life of your church. And so it is a little bit to do with the atmosphere, but more than anything, it's value based of what are we about as a church? You have a culture in your own family, and you've got a culture on your staff, and you've got a culture at your church. And sometimes our culture just needs some updating. Sometimes our culture stinks, and we got to, a metaphor that Dale uses sometimes is sometimes we have something that rolls to the back of our refrigerator, and it can sit there. Like think about an orange that can sometimes roll to the back of your refrigerator, and it's there's some other things that are kind of blocking it. There's some programs and some other things that are kind of clouding your view of what's in your actual church refrigerator, right? And if you're not careful, that orange can turn from an orange color to a black color with some white moldy stuff growing on it. And one day you open your fridge and you realize, man, my fridge stinks, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so sometimes that can happen in the life of the church. And it's we're all busy. We all have a lot going on. And to be honest, even this topic may annoy some of you because you're just like, dude, I'm good on my culture. I think sometimes there's just things that kind of sneak our way, and our sniffer begins to break, and we lose track of what's going on in the life of our church. And one of the greatest ways to get that back on track is paying attention to it, and maybe even cleaning your fridge out and evaluating, going, man, what do we value here? And what we value here should be measured.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing when it comes to values and culture is like, can we measure? Like, for example, we all value generosity, right? So you measure your generosity because you count your offerings, right? Like that's something that you value. But do you value life change? Well, how can we measure life change? Do you value community? Well, how do we measure community? And we'll answer some of those questions during the MOBBF meeting on October 13th.
Yeah, and what I really appreciate about Dale is Dale doesn't tell you what your church culture needs to be because every
Yeah.
church is unique. But what Dale does is he kind of gives you some grids by which you can evaluate. And that's why having
Hmm.
your team with you is really helpful because there'll probably be some time for you to talk and think it through and confront one another. And you got to be kind of brutally honest, that, hey, there might be something in the back of the fridge that stinks. And that's okay. It happens to all of us. But it's not okay if we know it and leave it.
That's
And
right.
so I think it'll be a great kind of workshop even for us to attend. So I'm looking forward to it, and I appreciate you guys hosting. I also saw on the agenda that there's an opportunity for us as a state to kind of discuss the state of church planning in Missouri, and I'm really thankful for that. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'd like to spend some time talking about that. I am forever indebted to the Missouri BBFI. Grace River Church is a BBFI church, and you guys invested in us. And I want you to come and see what God has done. But I also want to look and go, well, who's next?
Mhm.
Like who could be the next planter out of our churches? Or What's the next city we'd like to conquer, and claim for Christ? And I think I would love just to gather and talk about what I want to. I want to spend 20 minutes or so just talking about what we should be looking for in the life of a church planter. Like, what are some building blocks, some really key essentials that you may have somebody in your church, not the staff member that you want to get rid of. That's not the candidate I'm looking for. Okay. I'm actually going to ask you to consider, what would it look like for you to give up your very best staff member, or your very best small group leader, or Sunday school teacher, or elder, or deacon? What if you gave up your best, and we just see what God does? I just want to spend some time thinking and talking about that together. And so we carved out some time in the agenda to talk about that too.
Good. Well, hey, that's excellent. I'm looking forward to that and really appreciate that topic, because we as a church, as a state, we want to be doing that and doing that again. And so praise the Lord for that.
Yeah.
So 11:30, meal's going to be served, 12:30 first session rolls, and right there in St. Peter's. We'll have a brief business meeting at the end, guys, because it's October and we need to have that yearly meeting just to make sure we're doing things right. And then we'll be done before 4, before all the traffic lets out, and you can get out of the St. Louis area and get home. So, man, you've got an RSVP out there, a link out there. It's on Facebook. Guys, it just helps to, the host church know that you're going to show up. So just be respectful of that. Go ahead and RSVP and let them know you're coming, and they'll host us really well. Chris, thanks for what you're doing. Looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Pastor Kevin.
You bet.